You know, usually when we sit down to do a deep dive, we're looking at a manageable stack of paper. Maybe a new research report, a book.
Right, something you can wrap your arms around.
Exactly. This is not that. I mean, staggering just feels like a weak word for it.
It really is.
We're talking 3 million pages. It's February 2026, and the Department of Justice just dumped this entire archive. It feels like the internet is actually, like, buckling under the weight of it.
It's a data avalanche. And before we get into any of the sordid details, we have to be really clear about why we have this now. This isn't a leak.
No, this isn't some hacker group.
This is the government finally following orders.
The Epstein Files Transparency Act.
Exactly, the EFTA. It was signed into law late last year, in 2025, and it basically told the DOJ, stop holding back.
The mandate was total sunlight, right? Release everything.
Release the FBI records, internal emails, the sealed grand jury materials, everything.
Which, you know, sounds great. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. But as we've been reading through this, and we have been reading nonstop, it feels less like sunlight and more like...
staring into an abyss.
Yeah. It is dark. It's a forensic accounting of a nightmare.
And look, the headlines right now, they're all obsessed with the celebrity bingo card.
Oh, totally. Just scrolling to see which names pop up.
But our mission for this deep dive is a little different. We want to look past the gossip.
We need to look at the machinery, the mechanics of how this whole operation actually worked.
Because when you strip away the famous names, what you find in these files is a blueprint, a really, really disturbing manual on how a predator operates.
And how he does it for so long, right in plain sight.
And crucially, how the system fails to stop him, even when it is supposedly trying to be transparent.
That's actually a perfect place to start, before we get to the billionaires and the bizarre house rules, which we will get to.
Well, we haven't.
We have to talk about the rollout itself. This whole thing was sold as a victory for the victims. It was meant to be closure.
Instead, for so many of them, it just became a fresh nightmare.
Explain that, because on paper, releasing the files sounds like the right thing to do.
It is, in theory. But the execution was just a disaster. The DOJ had a specific mandate. Release the files, but protect the privacy of the survivors.
The ones who hadn't gone public.
Right. They claim they did this comprehensive review to redact their names, but the second those files went live...
the redactions failed.
Failed. You're
Yeah.
putting it mildly. It was a digital sieve. Brad Edwards, who's been the lead attorney for many of these women for years, he described it as absolute chaos. His phone just started melting down.
So these are women who've been anonymous for decades.
Decades. They rebuilt their lives, they have families, careers, and then suddenly, because of a clerical error at the DOJ, their names are just there, in black and white.
I'd imagine that feeling. You see on the news the files are out, and then your lawyer calls.
Edwards said they were scrambling. The DOJ realized its mistake and started pulling documents down, but you know how the internet works.
Once it's up for 5 minutes, it's up forever.
Precisely. So you have this bitter irony where the Transparency Act ends up betraying the very people it was supposed to help.
It's just a reminder that, I mean, bureaucratic incompetence can be just as damaging as malice.
And it really frames how we should read the rest of this. This isn't entertainment. It's evidence of a massive systemic failure.
Okay, so let's look at that system. Or the orbit. The people who circled this man. I think we have to start with the tech titans, because the new details on Bill Gates and Elon Musk are puzzling.
They definitely contradict the polished PR we've been fed for years.
So Gates, he was just in Australia, right? Did an interview.
Yep, and he's sticking to the script. It was foolish, a mistake, strictly about fundraising for global health.
That's been his line since 2019. I wanted money for vaccines, it was a dead end. But these files show something a little more personal.
Yeah, there's this draft email from 2013.
This is the one Epstein wrote to himself.
Yes. It's bizarre. It's like a digital diary entry where he's just venting. And in this draft, he makes some pretty specific allegations against Gates.
So what does Gates say about that?
He says it's complete fiction.
Yeah.
That Epstein was just furious because Gates had finally cut him off, and he was rage typing.
He was preparing ammunition, compromise, even if it was just for himself.
It looks like it. And Melinda French Gates, she is certainly not buying the "it was just fundraising" line.
No, her interview on that was sharp. She basically said, the wealthy men need to answer for this.
Yeah.
You get the sense it was a fundamental moral wedge in their marriage.
She saw something she couldn't live with.
And then there's Elon Musk. This part of the file actually made me laugh, which felt really weird.
The whole will he or won't he Go to the Island saga.
It's a logistical soap opera. You've got a Google Calendar entry in all caps. Elon Musk to island to see 6th.
But he denies it. Says he never went. But the emails around it are what's so fascinating. He tells Epstein why he won't go.
And it's not because he suspects anything shady.
It's because he thinks the island sounds boring.
Boring. The place the world knows as a house of horrors, and Musk is worried about the party scene.
He literally says he wants to hit the party scene and let loose. He says a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what he needs.
That's a key insight, though. It shows Epstein was a chameleon.
Totally.
To a victim, that island is a prison. To a billionaire he's trying to court, he pitches it as a peaceful retreat. He tailored the mask to fit the target.
A.B. testing his manipulation. He read people, found their lever, and pulled it.
Speaking of which, let's wade into the political swamp. And I want to be careful here because people get very tribal.
Right. My team good, your team bad.
But the files don't really care about party lines, do they?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the data. Donald Trump. His name is in there thousands of times.
Which sounds incredibly damning on the surface.
Until you look at what those hits are. Epstein was a media hoarder. Most of them are just news clippings about Trump that Epstein saved.
He was obsessed with proximity to power.
Exactly. Now, the DOJ Deputy AG, Todd Blanche, came out and said, we didn't protect him. Meaning, if there was dirt, they released it.
And what was there?
There's one FBI interview where a witness talks about getting a tour of Mar-a-Lago with Epstein and Maxwell.
Okay, so it confirms the social connection.
Yes. But the witness explicitly says nothing happened with Trump. So it establishes they knew each other, they were in the same circles, but this specific cache of documents doesn't have a smoking gun on abuse for him.
And then on the other side, Bill Clinton, now we have new visuals.
Photos. Clinton in a jacuzzi with Ghislaine Maxwell, swimming with her.
And the defense is, these are 20 years old, they were just friends, I didn't know.
That's the line. But visually, it's really tough. It shows a level of comfort, of intimacy with the partner of a trafficker that makes the I knew nothing defense harder to swallow.
How do you spend that much time with someone and not see anything?
And then Prince Andrew. We've sort of known this story, but the files just reinforce it.
It's the difference between rumors and, actual witness statements.
You have detailed accounts, likely from Virginia Giuffre, of specific nights. Dancing, sexual encounters. The files show Epstein acting almost like a scheduler for him.
Facilitating.
It paints Andrew not just as a guest, but as an active participant in the ecosystem.
Okay, so that's the celebrity layer, the headlines. But I want to go deeper. You mentioned the mechanism of predation.
Yes.
And this is where the files shift from gossip to something much, much darker. The university trap.
This is a part that honestly keeps me up at night. We think of trafficking as physical force, but Epstein played a longer game. He weaponized ambition.
The story of Rinna, she was an art student.
School of Visual Arts, 21 years old. He comes in not as a creep, but as a philanthropist, a savior. He tells her, I can get you a scholarship.
And who says no to that in New York City?
Nobody. He offers to cover tuition, promises doors will open at NYU, Columbia. Yeah. But then, the pivot.
He started controlling her art.
Worse. She wanted to paint abstract art. He told her no. He told her he wanted a painting of a crotch. He told her to make it real.
Ugh. That's so degrading. It's taking her talent, her identity, and perverting it.
It's psychological domination.
Yeah.
She said he was obsessed with infiltrating the brain. Think about that. If he pays your tuition, he owns your future. He creates a financial dependency that makes it almost impossible to say no later.
It's grooming on an institutional level.
And he used the legitimacy of those schools, Harvard, MIT, as a cloak. He laundered his reputation through their prestige.
It's the ultimate cover. Now let's go from the academic to the domestic. The files released the household manual.
It's a manual for running a cult disguised as a house.
The air conditioning rule, my brain just can't process it.
60 degrees.
60? That is a meat locker.
It's aggressively cold. We don't know why, but it was non-negotiable.
And the staff protocols?
See nothing, hear nothing, say nothing, written out. Instructions on where to place guns in drawers. And then these weirdly specific stockpiles of, toothpaste and tissues.
It just screams a need to impose his will on every single atom in that house.
It's being god of his own little universe.
Yeah.
He created a biosphere where his rules were the only laws.
And the people visiting this frozen, curated universe, the enablers section, is just wild. Steve Bannon.
That was a real curveball. In 2019, Bannon wasn't just visiting, he was coaching Epstein. acting as a media strategist.
Giving him advice on how to survive the scandal.
And on his beard. Bannon literally told him to change his facial hair to soften his image.
Right.
He was trying to help him crush the pedo narrative.
That is just so deeply cynical.
But there's this one moment in a video interview where Bannon asks him, "Do you think you're the devil?"
And what did Epstein say?
He says, "The devil scares me."
Wow. I don't even know what to do with that.
Is it introspection? Is it theater? With him, it's always theater. Look at Deepak Chopra.
The wellness guru.
Yeah, the man of peace and meditation. There's an email where Epstein brags that a victim dropped her civil suit against him.
And Chopra's spiritual response was,
One word. Good.
ugh. That one word says everything. Not, I hope you find peace, just, good, you won.
It shows how normalized it was. They saw victims as problems to be solved, not people.
And then the crown princess of Norway met Marie.
Bizarrely casual emails. She told Epstein he tickles my brain.
Tickles my brain.
She even joked about finding him a wife, saying Scandinavians are better wife material.
It goes back to the chameleon thing. He tickled her brain. He promised Gates vaccines. He gave everyone the version of himself they wanted to see.
Even Peter Mandelson, the British politician. Epstein was editing his memoir, called it gossipy.
The irony of Jeffrey Epstein telling someone to be more discreet. It's too much.
It is, but all these people, they validated him. They were his armor.
Which brings us to the end, the final days. The will was signed just 48 hours before his death.
And it's the roadmap of his delusion. He knew the end was coming.
So who gets what?
The big winner is Karina Shuliak, his last girlfriend. She gets roughly $50 million, the Zorro Ranch, the Paris apartment,
And there was a note about a ring.
a 33-carat diamond ring. A note says it was given in contemplation of marriage,
He was planning a wedding.
or pretending to. He also left millions to his lawyer, his accountant, and $10 million to Ghislaine.
It's hush money disguised as inheritance.
Absolutely. But here's the reality check. The money isn't really there.
How so?
The trust listed about $288 million, but forensics show only about $127 million is left. And it's all tied up in litigation.
So the payouts are basically theoretical.
It's monopoly money at this point, a con artist to the very end.
When you step back from all this, the admin failure, the tech giants, the university traps, the frozen house, what's the big picture here?
I keep coming back to a phrase from Ehud Barak. He called Epstein a collector of people.
A collector of people.
And it fits, doesn't it? He collected scientists, royals, victims. He arranged them on his shelf like trophies.
And the collection was the power.
Yes, the money was just a tool. The real leverage was the network. He built a human shield out of the most powerful people on Earth.
It makes me think about compartmentalization. Every single person we mentioned, Gates, Clinton, the princess, they all have the same defense.
I didn't know.
I only saw the philanthropist. I only saw the financier.
And the files force us to ask, how much work did you have to do not to know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's willful blindness.
You're in a house locked at 60 degrees
Yeah.
with young women being shuffled around. At some point, I didn't know, isn't a defense. It's a choice.
A decision to look away because the man is useful to you.
And that's the real mechanism. That's what these files reveal. Not just one man's crimes, but the complicity of a system that found him useful. It turns the mirror back on us and asks, what are we willing to ignore for access?
Well, on that cheerful note.
I know, right? It's heavy.
It's heavy, but it's necessary. The EFTA gave us the documents, but it's up to us to actually understand them.
And we've barely scratched the surface.
Which means we will probably be back with a part 2. But for now, that is our deep dive on the 2026 Epstein release. Thanks for hanging in there with us.
Thanks for listening.